Deion Sanders cites money as the biggest factor leading to players leaving Colorado. The end of Colorado's 2025 football season left Boulder heavy with questions, disappointment, and a fan base wondering how things unraveled so quickly under a coach who once electrified the entire sport. Deion Sanders has been many things throughout his football life. Superstar, icon, disruptor, motivator, lightning rod. But he has never been someone afraid to confront truth head-on, even when that truth reflects the harshness of the new era of college sports. And as the transfer portal once again became a revolving door from December through early January, Sanders stood in front of the cameras and delivered the bluntest explanation he could offer for why players leave programs across the country. The reason, he said plainly, wasn't complicated. It was money. In an era where name, image, and likeness deals have completely reshaped the landscape of college football, Sanders didn't sugarcoat, didn't dance around the reality, didn't hide behind vague explanations the way so many other coaches do. The thing about these guys, man, you got to understand, he began. When a guy leaves a program that selected him, picked him, got him out of the portal, he leaves for a multitude of reasons. Then his tone sharpened, his voice carrying the weight of someone who is seen enough behind the curtain to speak freely. The number one reason people leave is money, he said. It's not a disdain for staff, a disdain for players. It's money. Let's just be honest, man. Let's stop sugarcoating this foolishness. That's why most people leave. It was classic Deion Sanders, unfiltered, unapologetic, and brutally honest. He wasn't attacking players, nor was he criticizing the system. He was simply telling the truth most are too careful to say aloud. The modern transfer portal is college football's version of free agency, and Sanders has watched it reshape rosters not only in Boulder but in every major program across the country. Some players leave because they need a better opportunity. Some because they want to chase championships. And Sanders, to his credit, made sure to acknowledge those athletes. I admire these guys that want to go for another opportunity, a bigger opportunity, and play for the national championship, he said. I applaud that, but that's not the number one reason people leave programs. There was no frustration in his voice, only resignation. College football has changed, maybe permanently, and Sanders understands that no coach, no brand, no culture is immune to the gravitational pull of money. Sometimes it means losing starters. Sometimes it means losing recruits before they ever step foot on campus. Sometimes it means building and rebuilding at a pace that would have been unthinkable 10 years ago. But it is the world Colorado now lives in, a world Sanders is determined to navigate, even if it means losing players he wanted badly to keep. Still, money didn't explain everything that went wrong in Colorado's third season under Sanders. A once electrifying program crashed to a 3-9 record, a disappointing thud that reverberated across the Big 12 and left Sanders speaking more like a man on a mission than a coach sitting in defeat. For him, losing is not unfamiliar. Every player, every coach, every competitor experiences it. But that does not make it easier. It does not dull the sting. And after the season finale, Sanders addressed his fan base with the type of raw honesty that has always made him compelling. "You don't have to go easy on me," he said. "I'm a big boy. I've been doing this for a long time. When I win, I don't mind a clap. And when I lose, I don't mind a boo." There was a steadiness in those words, the voice of someone who has lived both the heights and the depths of the sport. Critics often overlook just how much this game means to Sanders, not as a brand, not as a marketing engine, but as a lifelong companion he studied and mastered. "I played this game. I know this game like the back of my hand," he said, leaning into the microphone with conviction. "And I love this game, and I love all the ups and downs, the ins and outs about it. I'm built for every last bit of it." And even in a season overshadowed by struggles, portal exits, and national criticism, he showed no signs of backing down from the challenge ahead. If anything, the adversity seemed to harden him, pushing him into a space where determination becomes survival and belief becomes armor. "If anybody's built to reconcile and to get this back on course, it's me," he said. It didn't sound like bravado, it sounded like promise, like a vow that he intended to pull Colorado back into relevance, even if it required breaking down the roster, rebuilding from scratch, and reinventing everything from recruiting strategy to on-field schemes. "And I will do it if it's the last thing I do on this earth," he added, his intensity peaking. "Trust me when I tell you, this was the Last Supper." In that moment, Sanders wasn't predicting doom. He wasn't declaring an ending. He was describing a turning point, the symbolic end of what Colorado had been and the beginning of what he intends to build it into. The phrase "Last Supper" hung in the air, interpreted by some as frustration, by others as foreshadowing, but for Sanders, it was more of a spiritual acknowledgement that the previous version of Colorado football needed to dissolve before something stronger could rise in its place. The truth is that Deion Sanders is operating in the most chaotic era college football has ever known. With NIL deals worth 6 and 7 figures, with boosters influencing roster construction, with teenagers negotiating like professional athletes, and with the portal providing instant exits and instant reinforcements, the job requires more than coaching. It requires adaptation. It requires resilience. It requires someone willing to face the harshest realities of the sport without losing who they are. Sanders has never pretended that money wasn't part of the game. He has never claimed that loyalty alone could build a roster. He has never insisted players should take less in order to stay. Instead, he has accepted what the sport has become and is trying to build a culture where transparency replaces bitterness and responsibility replaces excuses. His acknowledgement of money as a driving force wasn't an indictment. It was an admission that Colorado must evolve or get left behind. Resources matter. Infrastructure matters. Nil packages matter. If a player can make more elsewhere, they will explore that path. Sanders doesn't shame them for it. He doesn't beg them to stay. He doesn't cling to those who have already decided to move on. Instead, he focuses on those who choose to be there, and on building something strong enough to attract more of them. And while the 2025 season did not unfold the way anyone hoped, not Sanders, not the players, not the athletic department, not the fans who sold out stadiums and flooded airports wherever Colorado traveled, it also provided clarity. It exposed weaknesses that could no longer be ignored. It revealed where the roster was thin, where the scheme needed tweaking, where the discipline needed tightening. It showed Sanders exactly what holes he must fill and what direction Colorado must go. Most importantly, it revealed something about Sanders himself. Through adversity, through criticism, through transfers, through a 3-9 record, he never wavered. His confidence did not fracture. His passion did not dim. His willingness to speak truth did not soften to appease anyone. And in a sport where every coach searches for the right words after a losing season, Sanders found the ones that not only explained the present but helped define the future. He made it clear that he knows exactly what must happen next, exactly how hard the climb will be, and exactly how ready he is to lead it. College football may continue to change. Players may continue to chase opportunities, championships, and yes, bigger paydays. But Deion Sanders remains steadfast in one belief, that he will restore Colorado to something worthy of the passion this fan base pours into every Saturday. His final message of the season was not a surrender. It was a declaration.